Dear Journal, what is the best thing about geocaching? Being taken to new and interesting places? The camaraderie of events and social geogatherings? Perhaps it's the gadget caches or ingenuity of a clever hide. Maybe it's simply just getting out and about. If you responded with any of these answers, you are wrong and probably stupid. My answer is much more encompassing. Just recently with virtuals, I found out part of the reason they nixed them was because it was hard to determine which submissions were considered acceptable and which were not. I imagine some people got their feelings hurt, stupid decisions were made, and volunteer reviewers were hounded to the point of exhaustion. Or not, I really don't know. But imagine if they did that with physical caches. Imagine a world where there was a review system in place for all new caches. What if a reviewer could put the kibosh on a traditional cache following whatever secret reviewer rules they followed for virtuals? I'm sorry, your magnetic key holder on a guardrail has been denied due to a saturation of those types of caches in the area, or your cache placement is denied because it's a subpar container in an unremarkable location with no view or redeeming historic, intellectual, or aesthetic value. Now that you have imagined this world, tell me, is it a utopia or a dystopia? I bet we'd find a lot of people in both the topias. In my topia, there probably wouldn't be 3 million caches. There would be a physical review system with annual checkups. In my topia, signing a log sideways would get you a $500 penalty. In my topia... Well, alright, this isn't about my topia, and I'm pretty sure that's just a suffix and not a word on its own. Well, Skimbosh, I hear you say, because you left your window open, what the hell are you going on about? The title said the best and worst thing about geocaching. Well, I'm trying to illustrate a point and pad out the video length to optimize for future mid-roll in-video advertisements.
You don't have time to make breakfast. You're gonna have an exciting life now. Breakfast to go. You're gonna love my nuts. Watch this.
The best thing about geocaching is that you don't have to play the same way as the next person. If I'm some sort of elitist that doesn't want to go for power trails or magnetic key holders, then I don't have to, and it won't have any effect on the caches I do like. The worst thing about geocaching is that not everyone plays the same way as the next person. The things you like are taking up valuable spaces for the things I like. Now, I won't waste your time with obvious comparisons to life and compromise and things like that, but I will say that if it's one thing that geocaching shows, and not just with swag, is that one man's trash is another's treasure. Sorry, one person's trash is another's treasure. All those things I listed in the beginning aren't some of the best things about geocaching. They are some of the best things that stem from the fact that you don't have to play the game in any specific manner. Sure, there's some global rules to make things legal, sensible, manageable, and let's face it, marketable, but there's nothing written in stone on how exactly you should play. I think the pluses outweigh the minuses there, and I don't know too many other hobbies or games that can make that statement. Alright, maybe Dungeons & Dragons. Or sandbox video games. That's the comparison that you didn't ask for. Geocaching is like a good sandbox video game. Take Grand Theft Auto, for example. Play the storyline or just explore, do some racing, whatever. You want to go beat up random civilians? Hey, go ahead. So, when someone asks you about geocaching and what's so great about using satellites to find Tupperware, tell them what I told you here today. Maybe leave out the comparison involving beating up civilians. And when they ask you where you heard that from, tell them it was from the guy who could catch his walking stick after 3 complete rotations in the air.
Oh, 2. 3, baby. Oh, God, mother.